Minus that, we are saying government is not doing their job. We hope they should get their priorities right. Once we say we are having a market, so we know, we say, example, we know, or Entebbe market, can we have all the facilities, necessary facilities to enable the trading community manage their goods or their goods safely. Then secondly, we have the imports. As we are closing the year 2023, URA announced changes in taxation. And these changes are going to affect negatively if there is no intervention from Ministry of Trade and Ministry of Finance as soon as possible. We might see a strike by the business community if nothing is done. If you increase taxes by, say, 5%,
6% actually.
6%, yeah. We can go for 5% relative or average. 5%. How many people do you expect to keep in business? If government is doing little or nothing to make that ordinary person get that much needed liquidity that can enable him to buy. We are not importing for our own families. We are not importing for only the parliamentarians and big CEOs who can manage to buy anything at any cost. We are importing for everyone. Even my grandmother, my mother in Chotera, my grandmother deep in Kasari, and the other areas, friends in Rutoma and other areas. How much are they getting? On average, a Ugandan is getting, that is if we are looking at the whole population of around 48 million people. Sudil, Chirumbira inclusive and others, Ham inclusive, then we divide and get that average. An average Ugandan earns around $900 per annum. By calculation in Ugandan currency, that is around 3.2 million per annum. So how much is he earning per day? You end up like not more than 10,000 Uganda shillings. But on average, how much do you spend on living?
More than 10,000.
How much do you spend daily? How much do you spend on accommodation? Because average Ugandan is around 75% don't own houses. We are renting. So we need to get our priorities right. Try as much. We know agriculture is the sustainability area of every Ugandan. 75% of Ugandans are into agriculture. How much is government putting into agriculture? After nearly 40 years, we are still spending more on defense and security than agriculture, forgetting that the backbone of this country is where we should put more if we want to fight insecurity. If we want to be defensively strong, we need people to be having that much desired income. This is why countries like Sweden, countries like Switzerland, countries which don't experience disability, or instability of any kind, they tried to do that. They put money in the hands of the ordinary persons. When an ordinary person is satisfied, is having that much needed liquidity to spend, to enjoy his life, to sustain their families, you'll never see them getting entertained in any kind of instability. So this is what we need. We don't need to spend that much into defense. No. Into security. We can only secure this country when we have Ugandans, ordinary Ugandans, having enough. And this is what is, we can take the example of northern Uganda. Since the times of Konyi, government tried and put in a lot of effort and money to have to try to have the communities in northern Uganda back into business. We haven't had much of any kind of instability in northern Uganda, even other areas of the country. So can we try to put more? We all thought that with is it OPDM? Is it OPDM?
Parish
development model fund. We thought maybe there would be change. But when you sit and calculate, you realize that it meant nothing. They tried, but it's like any other fund that had been put up front by government.
Is that the
Since
government's problem?
Yes, it's government problem.
Okay.
Why is it government problem? When you come up with a fund, the first thing we do is sensitize the beneficiaries. Try to organize the beneficiaries. You don't have just dish out money to any Tom and Dick. Can we agree to have them aggregated? Not everyone should be picking, everyone should be applying individually, unless if you have, if you are highly organized and you can easily manage to show government that if you put in this much, this would be the outcome. And this is how I'll be managing in order for others also to come here to gain from the same fund. But when you allow everyone, say for example, if we know we have people dealing in making soap, women dealing in salon and beauty and others. Can we have them organized in groups instead of individuals? What do you gain? One, instead of giving someone 1,500,000 or 500,000, you are getting 5 and you are giving them 7 millions. 7 millions can easily be managed, even if it means renting a space, even if it means the much valued input, which can be looked at as giving the best output. That is one area where government has failed. We have seen in Tandikwa, we have seen Operation Wealth Creation, we have seen a number of funds. But if you try to find out how many or how much Ugandans have gained out of them, you realize that not much have been gained. The reason is most of these funds are politically motivated. We need to take time and study the different projects we come up with as government, and make sure that beneficiaries have enough information, are sensitized about different areas of business. One of them being financial discipline, where most of us are failing. You put money in someone's pocket. Government money, not even government money. This is Ugandanese money, because government is running business on behalf of Ugandans. Definitely. So you put money, say 5 million, in someone's hands. The first thing he does is to get another girlfriend or to marry another woman. The next would be, he'll come up with a small party. Not many. Over 65% of Ugandans, whether they are getting loan money from banks, they never prioritize areas which they had put forward when they are trying to get access to it. Definitely. So we need to sensitize Ugandans and understand that any penny that is either borrowed or that is misused, you end up as the loser. The reasons this money is supposed to go back. It's not your money. You are given that money, utilize it for a certain period, return it, then someone else benefits from it.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be.
Yes. And this is how we have seen the youth fund ending up not meeting the much needed mitigation to the youth, because we opted to give it to individuals instead of having them aggregated and grouped, or come up with the teams, different teams of different interest areas. If we agree that we are into stationery, can we have them 5, 7, 10? If we are into goat rearing or poultry, can we have them 10? Organize them in different groups. That we are going to succeed. If one fails to understand the importance of working as a group, the importance of the fund that has acquired, the other 5 will lead through and guide. We cannot misuse this fund because this and this and this and this. That kind of leadership, at least we must be having a leader within the 10.
Okay.
But one person takes unilateral decisions, end up messing everything. And there is a saying: if you want to go far, you move in numbers, or you move as a team. If you want to hurry, then you can go it alone. But in the end, most of the people have gone it alone, end up losing. Not many are like Sudir, are like Chiromira, are like Ham. Not many. That is why the percentage number of people have been successful in business is not more than 5%.
Okay. We have a G77 summit coming up together with the NAM summit.
Yes.
Are these particular summits that are going to be held this month by Uganda going to boost our economy in any way, or are they going to help traders improve on their income? Because we are seeing that some of these traders are going to be catering directly or giving direct services to these particular delegates that are coming into Uganda, people of food, medical care, hospitals, and all that kind of thing. Are we seeing a boost in our economy? What are these summits going to add to our pockets as Ugandans?
Yeah, definitely. Whenever there is such opportunities, we should always try and get ourselves ready to benefit from them. Okay. Incidentally, I'm sitting on that committee of private sector, which is organizing the business forum on the side of the private sector. And I'm sitting on that committee on behalf of KACITA.
Okay.
And we are about a number of people, over 18 people, of that committee of private sector. So what I would like to say is the opportunities will all depend on the interest of the people coming into this country. People in the hospitality side, say hotel and tourism, especially hotels, because over 400, 500 delegates are coming out from outside the country. And a number of presidents will be into Uganda between the 15th to the 19th, 20th, around up to 24th. People might stay a bit longer after the end of the summit. And what do we stand to gain? One, on the side of tourism, that exposure is very important. Secondly, it shows that Uganda is peaceful when you are holding or hosting such a summit. By implication, Uganda must be peaceful to allow you to host that kind of summit. Then thirdly, whoever is coming into this country is coming with foreign exchange, especially dollars, and they will need to spend. Many of them come to attend or participate in the summit, but at the same time, they are getting off their busy schedules in their countries, and they want to get some resting time, or to get somehow entertained in one way or another. So many of them will be visiting some areas of entertainment, and for example, national parks. We expect them to visit national parks, entertainment areas within the city center. I don't know whether Genoa is still operating, and other areas. They like to visit different areas within the city, even the old tax park. Not everywhere, not every country is having that kind of arrangement when it comes to matatus. Yes,
so it will be a tourist attraction.
Definitely, it's a tourist attraction.
Okay.
We have Owino among the biggest markets in the ESC, and other areas. We have, say, even Katwe might be a tourist attraction when it comes to visitors.
Okay.
Not many of them have having that kind of maybe that kind of arrangement in their home countries. For the trading community, yes, many people when they come to visit, they tend to buy and take some items as souvenirs, while others are buying for their loved ones back home.
Okay.
So we expect to get whatever we can get. What I would like to say is, any visitor that comes, make sure that you treat them fairly. If they come and approach you for anything, try to treat them fairly. If you are selling, can you sell at the same price? You stand to lose if you run away from your normal prices. Can you sell more at normal prices instead of selling one item? When you add more than what you have been selling at, you end up losing. The person who would have bought certain items is going to buy 1 or 2 items because you added to 5,000 shillings. You rather sell at normal prices and get a markup of say 3,000, 4,000, and sell more than 10 items. And look at that. You try to look at the bigger picture of a bigger turnover other than getting a one-time kill on one item.
Okay.
So we expect to gain a lot. Border cyclists, not many countries are having the numbers we're having in this country. Taxis, these special hire taxis, we expect them to gain. Airport taxis, that is, whoever will be getting off the plane, not all of them will be having arranged transportation from the airport to the city center and other areas. But most especially the sector which was affected, very badly affected, that is during COVID, that is the hotel industry. We are hoping and wishing them that they can get, at least they can gain out of NAM and G77.
Okay. Thank you very much. Now, according to General Museveni, Buy Uganda, Build Uganda is very, very possible. He came out and said that, and we are trying to support it as Ugandans. But can traders sustain the need that is available? For example, if you ban second-hand clothes, are you sure that the industries in Uganda and factories can manufacture clothes for each and every Ugandan? Are we sustainable enough to rely on Buy Uganda, Build Uganda, or do we need investors to come in from outside the country and help boost that part of that sector of ours?
First and foremost, Buy Uganda, Build Uganda is becoming a slogan. More of a slogan
than an actual
definitely
work.
And if we want to actualize that kind of arrangement, we need a round table discussion. Currently, the two factories that we are having that iron to fabrics and textiles cannot even produce 5% for Ugandans for local consumption. And we go ahead and ban importation or increase taxes on import of textiles because we feel like we have grown enough to sustain that sector, which is totally wrong. If you go to a Night Hill, Night Hill Pick Fair, is it Pick Fair Night Hill or something? You realize that they are not manufacturing more than 15 textile codes, while the codes of different of textiles are over 250. So out of 250, Night Hill can only manage to produce not more than 15. But the government is going ahead to ban importation of say used items. Yes, we agree. Maybe we can do it in a gradual manner. And holistically, we have the growth of our industries generically, not in a way that the government is pushing them. If we went to Namunkekera, where General Sale is based, and most Chinese factories, most of the items that are being shown to Ugandans as being manufactured from Uganda, in fact, they are adding value on them. They bring rows and rows of materials, and then they design, cut, and sew into different items. But we're not manufacturing from zero, from cotton. Can we have the cotton industry or cotton farmers organized as an industry? We start from there. We go back and establish granaries within different regions of the country. Once we are back from cotton production, come up with granaries, and then from there we can think about how much you can do. This is how countries like Turkey are doing. Turkey is one of the countries, one of the best producers of cotton, and they are one of the best producers of textiles and other garment materials. But that is what they did. They started from zero, went back into cotton production and other inputs that can influence production of textiles in their country. But we are failing to do this. And I don't know how much we are producing currently when it comes to cotton. Unlike areas, say, of coffee, where we know that on Africa, we are among the top 2 countries, that is between Ethiopia and Uganda. One of them is either the first or the second, depending on how the season had moved. But in cotton, we are nowhere among the best 10 in Africa. So we cannot think about sloganeering about boo-boo, when in reality what we are doing is importing materials, then we make garments, and we stop importation, where would have given Ugandans an opportunity to choose from a variety within the market, depending on how much you have. Because most of the items which are being made from within the country, I'll give the example of, it's a defunct now, that it was Phoenix. Phoenix was one of the first makers of garments in this country. But a shirt of one of the cheapest of Phoenix shirts was going for 70,000 by around 2008, 2009. The cheapest was 70, and the costliest was 250. How many Ugandans can afford a shirt at 70,000? Someone can go to Owino and buy a shirt at 9,000 Uganda shillings, 10,000, 15,000 shillings. But how many can you afford to buy? And this is why you have seen quality of different items going down. Reasons: whenever taxes are increased, to mitigate the taxation issue, we go back and talk to our manufacturers or the Chinese producers or suppliers. They compromise on the quality in order to beat the taxation regime in the country, which is really, really unfair, especially to the common person who is buying, knowing that the new shirt has bought at 25,000, 30,000, 40,000, can last a year or 2 years. But in the end, it can only last, if you are using it, say, twice a week, it cannot last more than 6 months. So people are not getting value for their money. Reasons because of government appetite for taxes.
Okay, we have 5 minutes to go, and I would like us to wrap up the discussion by predicting, are these problems going to get solutions? Is it going to get better, or are we seeing a worse Uganda as we wrap up?
Oh, I wouldn't like to be a prophet of doom. And I hope managers of this government are listening in to different programs on different airwaves. This is what I would like to say. We should always hope for the best. If we can sit with the government officials and listen in to what we have to tell them, we hope a lot can be achieved. We are saying, can we have priority areas? One of them is looking at the sector of agriculture as key if we are going to revamp this economy. Secondly, we have these water bodies. How much have we put in when it comes to fish farming? It's one area which was within the by 2020 before COVID, fish production or fish export was the fourth. When it comes to foreign exchange earning in this country. Can we go back and look at fish farming as a sector? How much can we do? Then can we look at minnow production? We have a lot of minnows in this country. Can we have that sector as well prioritized? And then, as we push to reduce on importation, how much are we putting in to support production within the country, like on the side of trade financing or financing across? Because this is an area which is hurting everyone, especially the trading community. How much are we putting in when it comes to power or electricity? If our unit is becoming more costly, it's pushing away would-be investors. So if we look into that area as well, we have been listening to the president. We are having more than enough. But when we are having more than enough of power being produced into the country, but people are running out because of the cost of power being higher than expected, then there is something wrong.
Okay.
Can we look at the side of government spending, especially when it comes to the size of parliament? We cannot afford to maintain the size of parliament. 550 MPs cannot be affordable by this economy. Nearly the same size of parliamentarians of India. India is having 1.5 billion something, or 6 billion people. But the numbers they're having are between 500 and 650 MPs. Uganda is having the same number nearly. Kenya, which is a big economy than Uganda, they're having 250 MPs. They're having 28 ministers. Tanzania, which is also bigger than Uganda, they're having 300 MPs. Uganda is 550. Can we reduce on the numbers of parliamentarians to manageable ones, say 200 to 250? Can we reduce on the number of cabinet ministers from 83, say to 40 or 35? If you can't achieve that, then Ugandans can start to believe that something can be done. On the side of the trading community, we are saying, can we have reduction of taxes to meet the necessary principles of taxation? Say, can we have fair taxes? Can we have predictable taxes? You cannot manage to import when you don't know how much you are going to pay for the next 1 week.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Jjemba Kanakulia, Deputy Spokesperson for Kampala Capital City Traders Association. Thank you so much for being a part of this show. Of course, there is a lot that is still needs to be talked about on the side of trade. For example, the 6% withholding tax that URA slapped on the traders in different decades and businesses. Also, levels of corruption in this particular sector, but also what has the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperation done to mitigate these challenges that we have been talking about. It's been a very lovely morning with you, and of course join us tomorrow same time, same station for the same issues at hand. My name is Carol, and have a blessed day. We are powered by Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe. Bye.
Issues at hand, powered by
Protea Hotel by Marriott